of the island's tourist infrastructure has been carried out by any government department or independent body since June 2019. And a lot of preparations have been made to ensure the island looks its best for TT 2022.
Chief Minister will be 2 roles more than enough. As Minister for Enterprise, I call the Chief Minister to reply.
Mr. Speaker, no full audit of the island's tourist infrastructure has been carried out by government since June 2019, and the infrastructure, as honourable members will know, is extremely diverse. However, departments have undertaken surveys and reviews which include elements of the tourist infrastructure. For example, in 2020, Visit Isle of Man commissioned a visitor product audit to identify visitor-related product development in the context of what attractions and activities exist on the island. Since 2018, the Department of Environment, Food and Agriculture has run an annual outdoor visitor survey to seek the views of visitors to its hills, forests and glens. Feedback from the DEFA surveys has been used to prioritise access and infrastructure improvements at many of the 18 max national glens and wider estates, equating to approximately £1.2 million of investments since 2019. In addition, a Visitor First working group has existed since 2019 to ensure the island delivers an exceptional experience for all our visitors. The group comprises government representatives and private company stakeholders and meets regularly to identify areas of improvement in visitor experience. Visit Isle of Man has also been conducting regular communications to encourage all stakeholders to get visitor ready. In terms of preparations for the TT, as detailed by the Department of Infrastructure, it has made a number of improvements to ports over the last 6 months. In addition, the DOI has carried out preparation work for the summer season to the Heritage Railways, the MER stops, the Snowfell Cafe and the TT Grandstand. The Visitor First group has been working with the DOI and the Welcome Centre to enhance the visitor welcome and is introducing a familiarisation programme to improve service levels across front of house teams in tourism and hospitality business. The group will also launch the Responsible Visitor Charter, which informs visitors how to help protect the island's unique environment during their visit. Creating an environment that exceeds our visitor demands is critical to the success of the Isle of Man as a premier visitor destination. The Visitor First initiative underpins all 7 action programmes within the recently launched Isle of Man Visitor Economy Strategy, Our Island, Our Future, and the group will continue to work to support and deliver a continuous programme of improvements for all our visitors.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In terms of the answer given, it was incredibly impressive. It's a real catalogue of examples of things being done, of people being involved in dreams being set in motion. The problem is when it comes down to reality, it's the small basic things that are really annoying lots of people. And I think it's that question over, are things like how the island looks now simply seen as a low-level maintenance issue? I think that's one basic thing that we need to really consider. Are those key areas now being downgraded and being ignored? So are we actually just seeing the way the island looks as a basic low-level maintenance issue? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, no, I think actually, Mr. Speaker, this government has recognised that basic infrastructure and basic maintenance is fundamental to our success as an island. That's why the Department of Infrastructure has committed to firming up its plans and strategy with regards to roads and maintenance. I hope honourable members have had the chance to read the draft document in relation to maintenance of roads, and I know that the Minister will be visiting commissioners, for example, over the summer period, and indeed Tim will have the opportunity later this year to fully debate the Department's plans and agree what the Charter should look like and what the plans going forward should be for basic maintenance in terms of the prioritisation sat within the Department's other commitments. So it's a very important matter. We're taking it seriously, and honourable members will have seen the first draft document, and I hope they're seeking to input back to the Minister at an early stage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd ask the Chief Minister, does he feel the Isle of Man is truly looking its best for TT 2022, despite all those preparations, the amount of commitment from various groups, all the preparations that have been made? Does he feel the Isle of Man is looking its best, particularly with regard to the promenade, the Laxaville? and other sites. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think if you take individual points in isolation, then I accept that there can be some criticism. But if you look across the piece, across the island, as I took the opportunity to do this morning as I drove in up through Tholton Will, across over the mountain, down into Douglas, I can tell you that I believe the island's in good shape. It's looking great. Our visitors are really going to come and have a fantastic experience. I know there's a great deal of anticipation out there for the start of TT 2022, that all the infrastructure is in place and is going up. The road signs are out, the hoardings are up. There's a sense of anticipation, and looking at the weather forecast, Mr. Speaker, I can see the sun is also being lined up. And my own personal forecast, Mr. Speaker, I predict this is going to be a humdinger of a TT. So let's get behind it, and let's have a fabulous 2 weeks.
Some good questions, Moorhouse.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can already feel the excitement. In terms of making these dreams and all these policy areas actual and ready for 2023, I'm slightly concerned that 2023 won't be quite as good as the Chief Minister is hoping will be. I hope he's right in this. But ready for 2023, rather than go through all the formal plans and all these formal structures, can we be more free and more open and fast-tracking than we were with COVID in terms of that response? Can we ensure that things are actually done and people actually see the changes? I know the countryside is brilliant, but when we actually get into urban areas, go between the urban areas, it's not quite as good as we expect. You know, we are on the gem of God's earth, and at times we need to remind ourselves that we're here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chief Minister to reply.
I mean, it's not a dream, Mr. Speaker. The reality is, I know sometimes it feels like we're in a dream, but the reality is we're all working hard to build a much better island for the future, and at times there are infrastructure issues, infrastructure upgrades needed, there are improvements needed. That's why we've set out in our island plan a clear programme of events that are needed or actions that are needed from the Department for Infrastructure. That's why we've got this maintenance charter which has recently been published. I think that's why we're pushing hard to deal with our brownfield sites. That's why later, before the summer recess, we'll have a proper chance to examine planning. There are so many fundamental issues. But yes, I fundamentally agree with the Honourable Member that getting the basics right, having our roads cleaned properly, the appropriate cutting and trimming of hedges and grass verges in the right places and in the appropriate manner, and ensuring the island is looking as smart as possible is appropriate. But I know that come Sunday, Mr. Speaker, we will all be wishing and willing everybody participating and visiting our island the very best of times. And as I say, I know they're going to have a fantastic time on a beautiful island.
Final supplementary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the Minister agree with me that a good example of trying to get everything ready for the TT is the work that my Department of Infrastructure is doing, for example, on the Ferry Bridge, which is a key location, a tourism asset. There was a crash there only a week or two ago, over a week ago, and the repairs will be made by Friday. Let's get on and enjoy the TT with a sense of optimism. Chief Minister's reply.
Indeed, I forgot the ferry bridge. Say hello to the ferries, please, all our visitors, and indeed everybody on the island. Please say hello to the ferries. And yes, I agree with the honourable member that there is often things to do, often last-minute issues, last-minute projects. I know, and I spoke to the DOI Minister this morning, that his teams across the board will be working as hard as possible and will be stretched, of course, to their maximum, indeed across all the public service. I just want to wish everybody involved, from the police to maintenance teams to those in the healthcare service, and indeed everybody who's organising events, the very best of luck. Come Sunday and the start of TT. I know they will be stretched. I know it takes a tremendous hard work. They go forward with my best wishes. And let's get behind them.